Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with a new meta Mega Knight deck that has been jumping to success at top ladder. It's currently played by the number 22 player in the world, but it's good at every rank. Because there's so many players that spam at the river without even knowing what they're playing against, you have multiple ways of distracting their stuff and extracting positive elixir trades. The witch will endlessly spawn skeletons, while the goblin hut relentlessly spawns spear goblins that your opponent will struggle to break through. And even if they're able to clean up your swarms, you're able to click a full bar Skeleton King ability. So what I'm trying to say is after their spells are depleted, all of their units will be immediately deleted. And if you guys want to see more on this deck, I've been playing it a ton in the meta. So check out the pinned comment for another video from my main channel on this exact same deck. If you don't have Skeleton King, use Dark Prince instead. Let's go jump straight some games, jump on everyone's towers, and assert dominance. Thanks to everyone that's using creator code SIRTAG to support the channel. All right, we got a game against Mr. Lopez. He's got a P.E.K.K.A in his banner, so I feel like he's probably planning on playing P.E.K.K.A. I don't know, it's just a suspicion out here. We're gonna go for the Goblin Hut because it's one of the best cards to cycle at the start. You're gonna get a lot of value, figure out what your opponent's got. Maybe they're gonna drop their spells. And if they drop their spells, you're gonna be in a very bad position because then you know what their deck is, but they don't know what you're playing. And then you can formulate a position where you want to go in for your graveyard and understand your best opportunity to do that. He's gonna go in for a battle ram right into us, and he already casted his fireball. So you guys saw that we baited out the fireball with a Goblin Hut, and then we're immediately getting value from that. Also, I'm pretty sure that the guy is going to have to drop something on the witch that he doesn't want to. And then we can go in for a graveyard if we really want to. But I think when we're up damage, it's better for us to retain our lead and not play too aggressively. Because in this type of matchup, if your opponent's running P.E.K.K.A bridge spam and they randomly have minions, those minions can turn into winions because then you have to go graveyard and arrows. That's going to be 8 elixir. They only drop 3 elixir there. So pretty hard for you to afford 8 elixir and single elixir because they can also punish you in the other side. So just be cognizant of that. Don't overextend. Make sure that you always have enough elixir to augment the answers that your opponent's going to be dropping. So I want to go in for the Skeleton King ability if I can. It just decided to die to me really quick, so I couldn't get much out of it. I think it's my best interest to go for Witch, eat the magic archer damage, and see if he decides to go in for an aggressive bridge spam, because if he does, then I can go Mega Knight. And the P.E.K.K.A is not going to get any damage here. We can just Mega Knight on top of the P.E.K.K.A, finish it off so it doesn't get a tower hit. And now we've got huge counter push with the P.E.K.K.A out of cycle and the Witch barreling down the left-hand lane. Wonder what Lopez has in store. Typically, P.E.K.K.A just hard counters Mega Knight, but not today, man. Our Mega Knight is about to give us mega value on you, and I think you're dead. This Mega Knight's going to jump on your face and just blast your tower into the land of disgrace. So I can go for a graveyard here since we have the Witch still steamrolling. The good thing about this deck is it's always gaining momentum. When you have units on the field, you can field free cards with your Witch spawning more skeletons. With, you know, your Spear Goblin Hut always giving you persistent value. And then your opponent's sitting there like, wait, he gets free cards and I don't get free cards with Skeletons and Spear Goblins? This isn't very fair, but I don't care, man. This is how we roll. I'm gonna go for the bar barrel here if I need to, but it doesn't look like I need to at all. I'm gonna 3-crown you. Mission impossible. 3-crown a P.E.K.K.A player that is trying to play for their pride instead of trying to win the game. This guy doesn't even want to win the game anymore. He's just trying to stop me from 3-crowning them. And I refuse to let that happen. So I'm going to go in for the Zappies here. I want to go in for a Barbarian Barrel on defense when I get the opportunity because it's going to be an efficient answer to this. And then I can go for the Skeleton King when he fireballs so that we can make sure that we're able to distract the P.E.K.K.A for a longer period of time. And notice how we were able to completely counter that for only 2 elixir. He dropped Battle Ram, which is 4, and we were able to shut the door with just a simple 2. Unfortunately, I told you guys I would 3-crown. I don't know if I can or not. What if I let him take a tower and then I try to 3-crown him just for the memes? You guys vibing with me right now? Do you guys think I should do it? I'm going to let him take the tower on the right-hand side. No, come on, man. If only your Battle Ram could take my tower. Then we could have rammed your tower with the skeletons and then also the Zappies and put you out of your misery and collected more crowns for our past round. Sometimes winning isn't enough. You got to collect all those 3 crowns. Asserting dominance to the extreme for maximum meme. Hey, we got a game against Manuel. So we're going to see what's happening. You guys know the deal with this deck. You have got some of the best defenses available. So if you ever play against a bridge spammer from mid-ladder and they go into your Witch, you're going to perpetually distract them. If they clump up a lot of stuff, you shut it down with the Mega Knight and you jump on them with absurd value. So in either situation, you're looking good. And this is looking even better for us because I can collect all the souls from the bats and the archers with the Skeleton King. So we are going to just crush his spirits with skeletons everywhere. I'm going to go in for the graveyard, and I'm pretty sure that the Skeleton King is not going to die for a while. He has to use the Lumberjack Rage, and then we've got graveyard skeletons in the back, while the Witch in the front is spawning skeletons, and this is just looking like a fiesta out here. Also, the skeletons are getting targeted by the tower, so we get even more damage on the P.E.K.K.A. That P.E.K.K.A is meant to counter my Mega Knight, but now you don't have it in cycle. And it's dead. It's on its last leg. It needs some health, man. It needs to go to a Pokemon Center. I can go for a Mega Knight in the back because I'm up so much, and I feel really comfortable cycling a Spear Goblin Hut as well. The best thing about this is we know that our opponent's got a Mega Knight deck with archers and then also bats. So I expect it to be a balloon deck if that would make sense, or a graveyard. I think it's going to be one or the other. In either situation, I'm just going to keep spamming him, and he's going to get distracted and punished by the Witch Skeletons and then the Zappies stunning whatever P.E.K.K.A. or Lumberjack he drops. He's going to have to go for arrows, but that is simply not going to be enough. And then he has to drop mirrored arrows. That is effectively your entire elixir bank, bro. That is 7 elixir down the drain. That gives you literally no counter push. So yes, you killed my witch, but was it worth it? Probably not. Now you don't have a spell to clean up the spear goblins that are flooding through as well. As you guys can see, there's an influx of cards that demand your opponent's small spells, whether it's the Skeleton King ability, whether it's the Spear Goblin Hut, or, you know, just going in for Zappies that your opponent probably wants to eliminate before they stun all of their units. So it's fun stuff to do. I think I'm just going to go and click the Skeleton King ability again. I'm going to go for arrows here on the bats, and then maybe the skeletons can tank for the Spear Goblin so we can get some more damage. Even if they end up dying to the tower, each individual Spear Goblin hit that we get is going to be so much better because the skeletons would be tanking, so we force out arrows again. Good stuff. So we know that our opponent's not going to have a good card cycle here, and if he's going to go in for, like, you know, archers or something, we could easily cycle back to another arrows if we really wanted to, but it's all good. It's happening for us the way we want. I want to go for Skeleton King here, and yeah, we only needed one more card for arrows. I guess I couldn't have done it immediately, but he did end up having the balloon deck, as I said he probably would, right? When we see Lumberjack and P.E.K.K.A. with archers, it makes me think balloon every time. So when you have sufficient answers, you're never going to be in trouble. And I think we can go in for the graveyard here, follow up with the Skeleton King ability, arrows on the bats that he's inevitably going to be dropping on defense with these archers, and then I think he's dead. I don't think there's any chance that he's able to defend this. It's pretty much impossible at this point. If he decides to go in for the P.E.K.K.A. on top of the Mega Knight or the Skeleton King, well, that's a negative elixir trade on top of the Skeleton King, and then you're going to lose to the graveyard because we can efficiently answer your bats and also your archers just too easily. Hey, we got a game against the Enigma. And he's on the road to glory, but I think that, you know, we're going to be a little bit too mysterious for this man to figure out. I'm going to go for a Goblin Hut, and a lot of times when you see that, you don't know what you're playing against. You might be playing against a double spawner deck, you could be playing against Royal Hogs, Royal Recruits, or, you know, you could be playing against a graveyard deck. But we don't have a graveyard deck that you would expect. We've got a random Mega Knight Witch out here, so I'm ready for it. So I'm going to go for my Witch pretty early on. I can also follow up with the Skeleton King as well. I'm thinking that I don't want to go into this with the Skeleton King immediately. I'm going to drop it in the back so I can collect a lot of souls. And I fight closer to the river so that my Skeleton King doesn't get destroyed. So I want to be able to make sure that I get the maximum value, and this is the best way of doing it. Also, his poison is out of cycle because remember, he had already dropped it on the Goblin Hut. So since he doesn't have that, we're in a much better spot. If I can stun his Skeleton King and he doesn't get the ability off, this is hilarious. Dude, please give me the Skeleton King ability. No! It was funny until it happened to me. Jeez, dude. I was hoping I was the one to have the fun, but you had to preclude that potential as well. So he's not going to activate King Tower, is he? Because I think that that's going to die before he can go for Tornado. So that's good for us. However, if I go Goblin Hut, he'll probably poison, and then we can get the poison out of cycle, and then we can go for a graveyard with a Barbarian Barrel afterward. Please poison the healthier tower right now. Don't do this to me, bro. Oh, come on. You're a rascal. You're literally a rascal for this. So I'm going to have to go for a Barbarian Barrel to clean up the gob. I mean, this is pretty bad. The gobs of skeletons are just swarming me. And I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if this is good. This is looking a little bit dicey for me. If I go Skeleton King with the Spear Goblins, this will probably give us a good counter push on the left-hand side, but he's going to go for a Barbarian Barrel, and then he should have Tombstone back in cycle. So I somehow need to be able to break through a Tombstone with Spear Goblins and a Skeleton King and arrows. He's going to go Skeleton King instead, but he can't go and pop the ability immediately. Wait, is that actually happening right now? Is this a joke? 2 elixir deleted a 4 elixir cost card, and it also did like 2,500 damage. Yeah, 2 elixir graveyard is pretty broken. If you guys haven't seen that before, it breaks down towers. So I'm going to go in for the Mega Knight on the left-hand side. He's going to go in for a graveyard, and that's completely fine. I always want to make sure that I separate my Zappies away from my Witch so he doesn't get profound poison value like he's hoping to get right now. I'm also hoping that I get the Skeleton King down in time, but I don't. I really wanted the Baby Dragon to lock onto the Skeleton King instead of that. Wait, I can go graveyard because the Mega Knight's going to be tanking, and then I'm pretty sure that I can go in for a Barbarian Barrel here, and then I can go and click the Skeleton King ability, and the Witch is still alive, and no matter which way this guy turns, his towers are going to burn. Look at the skeletons thriving out here, and I can go for arrows as well. Yo, the Zappies! They're permanently resetting the Skeleton King so it's not able to target what it wants. And guess what, dude? I want your tower right now. Jeez, what a wild adventure. Despite this guy having graveyard poison, and we don't have poison and we've got a graveyard deck, you would assume he'd have a really good matchup, but we're making it happen. So I'm going to go for a graveyard pretty aggressively right now because the Mega Knight should cross the river, and then both the towers should target the Mega Knight instead of the graveyard. Okay, a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. He did use his poison, so I'm able to go for Zappies to snipe the Baby Dragon. With the Baby Dragon getting sniped, I think we can maybe go for a Skeleton King here and follow up with a Barbarian Barrel if we absolutely need to. He's going to go Baby Dragon as well, so he's going to win the bridge battle pretty decisively here. This is looking super sketch for me, not going to lie. Not a huge fan of how this is going down. Still might work out if I play it perfectly, but we'll have to wait and see. I need to go in for arrows here, and then I also want to go for Barbarian Barrel. I can't do anything else. Everything else will be too costly. So I'm able to eat a lot of damage on my King Tower because it doesn't matter as much. However, it does matter that he's able to spend that amount of elixir and get away with it. And I can't go in for a Mega Knight plus a graveyard unless it's like triple elixir. I won't be able to afford it. So it's kind of sketchy, right? I need to be able to go in for a graveyard here, but I also need to be able to afford the Mega Knight to tank. Then I don't tank the game. All right, so he's going to go in for a pretty aggressive poison there. He's not going to have that in cycle immediately for us. All right, we can go in for a Skeleton King as well. This might work out if I can Mega Knight on top of his Skeleton King to finish it off, and then have the Baby Dragon lock onto that instead. We can go in for a Barbarian Barrel. We can also go in for the Skeleton King ability. That was a pretty bad tornado on his end, I think, because the Spirit Goblins are able to kill his Baby Dragon. Then I can go for a Barbarian Barrel. He's going to go for a poison, but I don't think that's going to be near enough. Yo, the Witch is alive at literally 1 HP. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Wait, I'm going to be able to reset the Baby Dragon onto the Mega Knight if I drop it in the middle because the Baby Dragon is going to target the closest thing. I want to go in for another graveyard so I can keep up the advantage when we're up with a Mega Knight getting tanked for the graveyard. Come on now. Come on now. Barb Barrel, give me a hit. I need it. I need it so badly. The Barbarian Barrel is swiping the tower again. I think that we're going to be able to make this happen as long as I can get like one more Baby Dragon counter with Zappy, so when he goes in for the tornado, he can't lock onto my tower. If you guys noticed that, he was really looking for the Baby Dragon to splash it on my tower, but I denied it by dropping very high Zappies that he wasn't able to tornado, making that type of prediction. So I'm going to go for Zappies in the middle, and I think we walk with win. There's no way that you're going to be able to get this amount of damage before we do, and that is a tower steal. You love to see it. It might seem like a mystery for most of you guys beating graveyard decks with poison when you've got a graveyard deck with no poison, but after watching our match against Enigma, hopefully that clues you in on the ways to win. Let's get it. So this guy's got Expo in his banner. I feel like Expo is going to get permanently banned by this deck. Every single time that you run into someone that's got a Mega Knight, Skeleton King, and then arrows for your archers, your Expo can't lock on, and then every single time you drop archers, you're going to lock up absurd value for me. Yo, I don't think this guy is going to have a good time. He 100% has Expo, and he was proud enough to display it on his banner. You guys know the deal. This guy is likely going to go in for, oh, wait, I was going to say archers, but he's actually going to have the Archer Queen, the next evolution of archers. It's all good. Sometimes that be that way. Spear Goblin should be able to put in enough work against the Archer Queen, and I can just go in for a Mega Knight here, and then I'm pretty sure he loses it. That's incredible. That just makes me happy, because the Archer Queen is dead, and then I don't think he can defend against the graveyard, because if he goes in for any bait cards, well, we can just simply arrows here. What was he planning on doing? Was he planning on trying to pull the Mega Knight to the King Tower? Nah, the Mega Knight doesn't want to do exercise today. It's going to permanently reside on your side of the map, not jumping. Jeez, I think I can go for another Barbarian Barrel here just to get a little bit more damage and add a little bit layers of spice to this game. I can also go in for an arrows depending on what he wants to do. Wait, what if I just go Skeleton King? Skeleton King shuts down the Archer Queen easily. Archer Queen ain't going to give him anything out here. He wasted a 1 elixir ability too, so he ended up dropping significantly more elixir than me. I can go in for another Goblin Hut as well, just to keep up the pressure and make our opponent just limited with their amount of answers. Also, one thing's for sure, he is not going to be able to kill the Spear Goblins as quick as he wanted. The Spear Goblin still pierced his tower. I can go for arrows here if he decides to drop any bait cards nearby. Also, because, you know, his Expo's out of cycle, I can still roll a Mega Knight and have no worries about this. The Expo is going to decay over time, and he can't cycle an Expo on the other side because he's not back to Expo. So I'm planning on going for a Witch here as well, because now he can't cycle a Valkyrie on top of the Witch. If the Valkyrie's out of cycle, it's going to take him 4 cards to get back to another one. And you don't have that type of potential out here. The Mega Knight's jumping for joy, and, you know, it's land ahoy with these arrows on top of the tower. I'm pretty sure he's in a bad spot because the Witch should have the power to shut down the rest of the Queen. Not really going to happen, but it's still a pretty okay spot. I'm able to go for Zappies and Barb Barrel, and I'm going to be able to shock his Zappies counters and, you know, be able to guarantee that we're able to get either a Mega Knight down or a Skeleton King. And if I want to get 2 of them down, that's also a pretty good plan as well. So I'm vibing with it. Notice how he's literally done no damage to me so far. It's pretty funny. What if I hit all of your bait cards with his arrows? That's 2 elixir down the drain with the skeletons and Ice Spirit. I hit your tower, and I clobber the Expo as well. he's going to be able to lock onto the Goblin Hut, but then the Mega Knight's going to be able to jump on top of the Expo. And meanwhile, he's not going to have anything for the Spear Goblins. He has to go for a log on that, but you don't have log back in cycle. Meanwhile, the Mega Knight is able to jump on top of all of your stuff there. So I don't know if you even care, but this game is over, bro. You lost a Valkyrie and Expo, which is literally, you know, all of your elixir to a Mega Knight. Meanwhile, we were able to go in for the influx of Spear Goblins, and because you didn't give it any respect, well, we're not going to give your tower any respect either. My homie got eaten alive by one measly Skeleton King skeleton. Maybe that skeleton will get promoted to Skeleton King one day for his accomplishment. And after absolutely obliterating Expo, now we're in Champion League. All right, we got another one here, so let's see what's happening. We want to end the day in a positive way, dominating our opponent, hopefully. That's how this deck works, right? Just making sure that you get good situations, always playing safe until you find a solid place to go and drop your Mega Knight and spam at the river. Or maybe go in for like a graveyard if your opponent's graveyard counters are out of cycle, or if they only have cards that you can swiftly eliminate with your arrows, like maybe minions. Oh my gosh, this guy's going to immediately go and spam us in the other side. All right, well, that's a pretty good play from our opponent. I think I have to go in for Skeleton King here and then follow up with a Witch. Fortunately for us, we're not going to lose our entire tower without any sacrifice from our opponent. He is going to lose his entire tower on the other side. So I guess this guy just want to go and do a tower trade or something. He's like, oh, here's your Pokemon, here's my Pokemon. Let's do a trade. And I think I ended up with a better trade here, bro. You ended up dedicating more elixir. We have a Witch alive. I think we can thrive with either a graveyard or a Mega Knight in front of this, depending on what I'm thinking. If he goes in for a Tombstone, it's definitely better for us to go for a Mega Knight. Since we have skeletons in front, if he has Inferno Dragon, it'll probably get distracted for a short period of time. He's going to go for a Mighty Miner, and I'm pretty sure the skeletons are able to swarm it and make sure that he has to click the Mighty Miner ability way faster. Why do you have two cards with the ramp up of the Inferno Dragon? Isn't the Mighty Miner enough Inferno for you, bro? Or do you have to ramp it up to a different level? He's out here. He's got two cards that can just do a lot of damage if they get any time alone. So we gotta have to parental guidance on both of those cards. I'm gonna go for Zappies to make sure that the Inferno Dragon can't go and spice things up for us. Unfortunately, the Phoenix is gonna respawn, but it's gonna go right into a King Tower and double Zappies, so not that bad. What was that Adventurous Lava Hound, and why did you drop that? I guess this guy just wanted to delete his entire elixir bar with absolutely no value. So I'm going to go for a graveyard here. I'm going to Skeleton King because we're up so much. We're going to collect all the souls from the Lava Hound pups and our graveyard skeletons dying. And I think we can just throw all the skeletons to go and party on his tower. And he's going to have to part ways with each one of his towers here. There's nothing he can do to defend. This is the end. GG, well played, and peace out. The game leaves us with one mysterious question. Why did that man drop the most adventurous Lava Hound of 2023? Did our homie actually expect his Lava Hound to magically evolve to a Mega Lava Hound or something and jump onto my tower and take it in one hit? Or is that his way of being a gracious sir and leaving the game early to give us a free win? It will always be a mystery to me, but I'm excited to see what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed the deck today and want to see more, make sure to check out the pinned comment for a video on the exact same deck. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily content, and have an incredible rest of your day.